So the first thing I did was prime my eyes with Too Faced Shadow Insurance in Lemon Drop. And the first shadow that I'm going to use is a L'Oreal Infallible in, what's the Java one? Bottomless Java, I think. And I'm using a Sigma Performance shader. It's from that Performance Eyes kit. The shader brush for the lid, it's an E36. And then I'm just going to place it kind of all over my lid. And this brush actually surprisingly gets a good amount of product kind of picked up on it. And because I've had kind of varying luck with getting product pulled up from these Infallible eyeshadows with brushes. A lot of times I just use my fingers, but I was just kind of trying to test out this brush kit again to see which brushes I liked. So the shape and kind of shadowing I'm going for here is pulling it up further up into this kind of inner part of the crease and then coming out into above the crease a bit, just kind of fading up into my brow. So when I did my right eye, I also tried using the shader Crease brush from the Performance Eyes kit, the E47, which is a little bit fluffier. And I was just trying to kind of define that crease before I actually blended it. So it's pretty good at getting the product into the crease, and it doesn't do a lot for actual blending though. So I went to just a big fluffy blending brush to really get the color blended. So for the blending, I just used a clean, at the time, tapered blending brush in E35 from Sigma. And this, I'm just kind of trying to blend out the edges and really pull it up into my brow here at the front. For me, sometimes blending in this front area kind of makes it look like I'm frowning, exaggerating the shadow at the front here. So that's why I don't do it too often. Why are you so angry, Nicole? For my brow bone, I used this Wet n Wild ColorIcon bronzer, and it's more of a highlighter, and the shade is Reserve Your Cabana. I like how it is not too shimmery, kind of a natural looking shimmer. And I just like the actual color, the kind of beigey, goldeny look. So it's not a really bright highlight, obviously, on me. The next brush I used from the Performance Eyes kit was the Tightline liner E16. And I don't think I had used this for tightlining before, so I wanted to give it a try. And I'm using a L'Oreal Infallible cream liner in Espresso, which I really like. It's very creamy, very pigmented. It's just so easy to work with. So I'm just kind of stamping it along my upper lash line. And in this case, I'm also trying to get it on the waterline. Normally I am not, but I'm actually rimming my both waterlines this time with this liner. And I think the combination of the brush and this gel liner being so creamy, it goes on so easily. I was really happy with how this worked. To do the lower waterline, I was using a tip that I had seen many places, but I know Christine from Temptalia has also mentioned it a lot, so that's probably the last time I heard it recently. And what it is just using a pencil, and you kind of dip it into your cream liner, and you kind of have that pencil form to use, but it's got the cream liner on it. And I also just kind of smudge this a little bit more into my lash line. It's messy now, but we're going to go over it with shadow. Okay, so now we're just going to go in with the L'Oreal shadow again. And for this I used that shader brush, the E36. And this is mainly just to kind of give it a little bit more of a smoky look on the lower lash line. And also to kind of blur out the edges. Stab myself in the eye. And blur out the edges of the cream liner, so it's not so harsh looking. And one other thing that I did kind of at the last minute was put a little gold on the lid. Sean said that it looked like I had been punched in the eye, so I figured I needed something to make it a little less dark. So what I'm using is a Crushed Metallic Pigment from MAC. It was in the Surf Baby collection. And this little stack was Surf the Ocean. So it's a pretty deep golden bronze type color. And what I do is just scrape off some stuff from the lid and tap it on with my finger. And then I'll go in with a blending brush just so it's not so intense. The last step was my mascara, and this is something I've really been enjoying lately. It's a Jordana Best Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara. It has gotten a little bit more clumpy now that I've had it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And I could kind of tell that that's what was going to happen. But it definitely gives a lot of volume. So that is the finished eye look. Okay, so I just have cheeks and lips left to do, so I thought I'd show you what I decided. And for my cheeks, I'm using Maybelline Dream Mousse Blush, and this one is in Soft Plum. And it does have a small amount of shimmer, but not too much. and I don't think it's plum-ish, but I don't know, dusty-ish rose perhaps? I don't know. I like the way it looks, and I do like the texture. So it kind of, it's that kind of dry, whipped, silicone-y feel. So I just kind of blend that over my cheekbones. I was going to use the Wet n Wild ColorIcon bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana that I used on my eyes, but I decided let's do something different, and I am using my Diorskin Shimmer Powder in number 2, and that is Amber Diamond. This is the one that lots and lots of people rave about. So I just have that on kind of a tapered highlight brush from Sigma, and it is very, very shimmery, so I'm gonna have nice glowing cheeks. And on my lips, I'm using a Revlon lip butter, and this one is in Creamsicle. So it's kind of an orangey color. It's just very light, kind of a nude for me. Now, of course, I don't have it with me, but I would top this with one of my beloved Laura Mercier lip glosses, probably in Sweetheart, just to give it kind of a pearly pink finish. So that's about it, guys. That was my simple smoky brown eye look that also used some of the brushes from the Sigma Performance Eyes kit that I like. There's just one little thing I wanted to mention. There is a really tiny white blending brush in that kit, and it shed like crazy. I really thought that there was going to be no hair left in that brush. It was terrible. And it's also super duper floppy, so it just did not really seem to do anything. I couldn't figure out what I could even use it for. Maybe somebody that was a little bit more skilled at these things would take advantage, but I found it really not a good shape of a brush, and it's the one I was kind of interested in the most. Yeah, the shedding was the main problem. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll see you soon.